All right, let's open up Unity and bring that in. Crash course, textures, files, models. Bring in the game world. There we go. Let's fix what we need to fix before we do anything else. Sure, just drag that on. Right click, reset. Let's bring it down. Put the floor around the player's feet. Okay, I think that'll work. Just deactivate this cube for now. Let's see how everything worked out. Okay. It seems to be good. It seems to be good. We might need to change the mapping on the sphere. I was thinking about that. It was just default unwrapping. So let's go textures. I'm gonna create a folder called world. I'm also just gonna create a folder here called crate. Drag these in there. In the world, I don't have a lot of textures, so we'll use. So I got a rock one from textures.com. Let's bring that in. I got bark and some open wood. So I'm just gonna try these. Let's change these to normal maps. Apply. Okay, let's go to materials. So let's create the rock first, because I think we'll have to change the mapping. I'll just say boulder. World. The occlusion and the normal map. All right, let's see how that looks. Yeah, so it kind of unwraps it the way you would see a material sphere. Yeah, let's unwrap that again. First, let's see if we need to do anything else. I'm going to duplicate this boulder, rename this spark. Drag these in for this one. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. So I'll just change these faces to be the same material as the open wood. Just call this one wood. Bring this one in. I think we'll flip the UV map as well, because for me this texture is vertical. Strand lumber from textures.com was that one. For me that one's vertical, and I think I mapped him horizontally. Wood? Yeah. No, that works out. Perfect. Okay, so I'll just change the mapping on the ends there. I think that'll work out. And I'll change the mapping on the sphere as well, as best I can. I'm not sure what we could do, but we'll figure it out. All right, so back into Blender. I'm just going to export this right back into Unity as well, so that it changes our changes everything for us. So I just want to take these, change these to the wood, assign. That actually makes sense. I don't know why I thought otherwise. We could change these to shade flat as well. Let's do that. Good. All right, let's go to our sphere. UV editing. Now what's the best way to unwrap a sphere, I wonder? Maybe, so it's not going to be perfect, but maybe we can just mark a seam here. Maybe we can just do this for now. And maybe that'll be better. Let's go ahead and select everything again. Might have to change more, but I think so far so good. So if your water was flipped, it was for me once already. Just go in, Shift N, and recalculate normals and tick inside, and that'll fix that for you. If Shift N doesn't, that's what you'll do. All right, so I'm just gonna export that into the video game project. Here we go. Game world, good. Okay, and that should fix that for us right away. There we go. So it's not going to be perfect, the boulder, but I think it looks a lot better like this. So we can change the tiling of a seamless texture like this. And that might make it look a little more convincing on the seam there. Yeah, at least from a distance it does. So you can go 2 by 2. You can also change the offset and see if you can, you know, get a better effect there. Try changing the normal map a bit. That's too much. Right, and you smooth this. I'm just going to go with this. I think that's convincing enough. Let's come down to this. Okay, that was fixed for us, but we want to change the direction of those faces. So let's do that. Okay, those two. So So I just want to go R90, rotate those. Perfect. Sure. I'll go UV, average island scale. They're fine. Okay. Okay, export again, overwrite. Make sure it's the video game project. Great. Okay, much better. So maybe we want to do the same thing we did to our crate. Maybe we want to make actual LODs out of this one. I'm going to select these, all the seamed edges. Make sure I don't get these. I'll try beveling these. Okay, I'll assign the wood to those. And maybe we try shading smooth. Let's try that, sure. So this alone is 92 triangles. That's perfectly fine, but we could create a LOD system for this if we wanted to. Let's call this log underscore, whoops, underscore LOD 0, 50, LOD 1. We can just add a decimate modifier. Maybe bring this down to, see what that gives us. So let's hide the first one. Okay, we could bring that down pretty far. Yeah, we could do that. Okay, so without selecting anything else, just select these two LODs. Say File, Export, FBX. Don't do this. Don't call it the game world. That will overwrite the whole thing to these just two logs. And call this log asset. Okay. We can take this and drag it onto our game world, just so it sits in the exact same place that it knows where to sit, basically. So we can drag this back out. We'll probably have it as a child here and some sort of revolving parent. But for now, let's just select the log and deactivate it. Okay, just assign the materials again. I think I want this to be totally rough. And maybe not so high res. Maybe that's more interesting. Okay, you can change the offset. You can make a few variants of this material if you want. Alright, so maybe the bark is going the wrong way. The bark seems to be going the wrong way. Let's go ahead and fix that. So just in these two LODs, select the whole thing. This piece here, L, just make sure you got them both. Nope. Okay, you can use your paint tool, select some vertices and hit Control L, and it will select anything, any island that you have anything selected on, a vertices, sorry, vertex, edge, or face. And we'll just rotate this 90 degrees. We've got these then. Okay, let's export this as the exact same thing. Log asset, good. Okay, and that'll flip our bark to be the right way, good. Okay, so these are just really simple objects. We could have went further with them like we did on the crates and made them a little bit nicer. But I think this will do. Yeah, so this is as far as he could be from it, basically, over here. So we can drag this up to 7%. Maybe 6 just to be 100% sure. It'll still be visible. So that's fine, just because we don't really need LODs in our game for this particular thing. I just wanted to actually lose the triangles after, yeah, maybe that distance. So remember, as the other one, we have to assign the materials to all LOD meshes, so each one. Wood, bark. Good. So we have a small LOD system, just 1 and 2. That's perfectly good. Alright. So let's create the materials for all this other stuff. So I'll just create a folder. Call this world. Because these won't have any textures. I'll go create material, let's make it flat black. Alright, so let's start. Let's drag the flat white on. So let's make sure all the flats have no smoothness. Okay, let's go orange. We could take our eyedropper and just pick this orange. Too dull. Okay, let's get the blacks. Just make these almost fully black, and this one will be fully black. Let's give the orange and the black more of a smoothness. The next thing we want to do is add some colliders. So we want mesh colliders on this stuff. We want the world to basically be a perfect collider. So let's go to this guy. Let's add a, yeah, so underneath your game world parent, come to each of these objects and add a mesh collider. Boulder will give us sphere collider. This will also be a trigger, but we don't want it to push us around. So let's remove that for now. We'll create a trigger for that as well. The log we'll leave alone. We'll actually use our new LOD one, new level of detail. So we'll create some fields of cubes down here as well, or planes. Cubes will be better as triggers to delete stuff. Like if we drop a cube or a crate or a drop falls off the edge, once it gets so low, we'll just erase it from the game world to be optimal. And if the player falls off, we'll give it just a short distance, to the point where basically we know he can't get back up, and we will just let him fall, and the game will end. So now, if we go out towards the water, we should actually fall. Good. It just goes up a little lip, and let's go over the boulder. Maybe we want the world to be a little bit bigger. I think I want the world to be a bit bigger. Yeah, so let's just make the world a little bigger, assuming everything is working out for us so far. Here. Maybe we want this bigger even. Let's go 1.5. Okay, we'll have to lower it again. Or, sorry, give it the same value. Let's go to our game world, copy this. Just, okay. Yeah. Just add a mesh collider. Set convex. Okay. Let's do the same thing to this one. Okay, we should be able to see if this fits. Okay. So if it pushes one onto here, it'll stay like that. Yeah, okay. So for this one, it makes more sense to just add a convex mesh collider to LOD 0 and LOD 1, just so that when we don't scroll back far enough, or with our camera, and we don't see the first LOD anymore, on because we have a mesh collider on the second one, it still won't just fall if the crate's on it. We can do it. Okay. So we just need to have that thing rotating now, all this stuff. We can get back. All right. Well, let's maybe put that log in the center then. Let's scale this up a touch. Okay, 1.54 works out perfectly.